Wow. Okay. Well, that didn't exactly work. There we go. Hi, Sean Palmer here, Seth and Sean Sports Radio here on a Saturday afternoon. Seth is busy doing taxes this week, so we're going to do a short 30 minutes or so broadcast before the day. And what I mean by the day is, wow, do we have a group of games for ESPN and ABC today with regards to the NBA playoffs. And I was going to do a article and put that on our website, but instead, in the time that was going to use that article for my predictions, I figured why not just spell them out on here. And given we'll do a half hour today and a half hour tomorrow, the NBA today and probably the NHL tomorrow, either tomorrow or Monday. But today we got a ton of matchups. So first round matchups today, Brooklyn and Philadelphia. Atlanta is at Boston at 3:30. The Knicks and the Cavs are at 6. And then to round out the day, tonight, 8:30 on ABC is Golden State and Sacramento. So if you wanted a game, if you wanted a day to watch, then tomorrow the Lakers play at Memphis at 3. Miami plays Milwaukee at 5:30. The Clippers play Phoenix at 8. And then the late game, Minnesota plays Denver at 10:30. What's interesting in before we get to the predictions, and we will get to predictions, no question about it, because I need to have this on record, is looking at the prices of tickets. So ESPN has on their website, when you go to the NBA schedule, you can see tickets. I believe that's courtesy of Ticketmaster, courtesy of Vivid Seats, as to how expensive some of these tickets are. So first round matchups, highest to lowest. Golden State at Sacramento. And we know why, right? Because Sacramento hasn't been in the playoffs for about 20 years. The last time they were in the playoffs, Kevin Martin beat Chris Paul. That's the last time they were in the playoffs. And that game, first game, game one, $330 to play Golden State. And that is the marquee matchup for today, certainly. And certainly the upset matchup that most are taking. Second on, and this is obviously secondary market, second is Atlanta at Boston. Boston's always going to have a high price for a playoff game. I think this is one of the worst series out of the 8 that we will see, but that's $119 to get in. And this is the get-in price. So $330 for the lowest price in Sacramento, $119 to get into Atlanta. And then we move on to the Lakers at Memphis for $114. The Clippers against Phoenix is at $107. And then there is a substantial drop. Miami at Milwaukee. Sorry, the Knicks playing at Cleveland is $68. Then Miami playing at Milwaukee is $61. Minnesota against Denver is $47. And if you were close to Wells Fargo Arena today in Philadelphia for the 1 o'clock game, you could walk in for a tidy $18 against the Nets. 18 if you wanted to see a playoff game. And we'll do the same thing for the NHL tomorrow. My presumption is those tickets will be more expensive. Maybe not than the $330 for Sacramento, but the hockey ticket will be more expensive than these for some reason. So anyway, so looking at the bracket the way that it is, I did have a screen that showed the bracket, so let me get that up for y'all, and then we can go through this and give the predictions and see where we are. So present, share a screen. So again, courtesy of ESPN, here is the bracket. You can see right here. So first round games, I'll scroll down. So this is so again, the NBA does not reseed at the end of the first round. So Milwaukee and Miami, look, you don't want to play Miami, but this is not the Miami that you have noticed in the past. This is now Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler's Miami. Kyle Lowry injured last night again against Chicago. They did not look great. I mean, Jimmy Butler is fantastic. Jimmy Butler is playoff Jimmy Butler, right? I mean, he's the guy that you want at the end of the games. He's totally the guy that you want at the end of the games to come through in the clutch, and he's there. And you know you're going to get him prime time Jimmy Butler. You know that's going to happen. But they just survived the play-in tournament. They just survived Chicago. There is no way this is going to happen. You're not going to get, and it rarely does in the NBA, an 8 over a 1 seed. They ranked 25th in scoring. Miami did with a 112.3 rating. Yeah, 4th ranked defense from Milwaukee. Milwaukee's got a defensive player of the year candidate in Brook Lopez. Yeah, no, this is not happening. You're not going to see this. I mean, the question at this point is, when will Chris Middleton come back? Is he going to be healthy? This is going to be a brief series. This is not one that I'm looking forward to. I think this is going to be over in 5, and we're going to take the Bucks over Miami in the first round. So let me make note of that. Bucks to move on in the first round in 5 games. Giannis has a typical Giannis series, and there's really nobody that's going to be able to stop him. I mean, Bam has not been playing well. Last night, I believe he only had 5 or 6 points in the entire game. There is a chance for a sweep here. You don't want to ever predict a sweep, so I won't. I'll say Miami gets 1 game out of this. The 6 o'clock matchup for my New York Knickerbockers. Probably one of the 2 best series, at least to me, in this playoff series, in this first round. I'm going to take the Knicks. I'm going to take the Knicks in 7. And I know that is playing on the Cavs court. And I know the Cavs have one of the best home court advantages in the NBA. In fact, it was ridiculous. ESPN's NBA standings. Them and Golden State, the numbers. So the Cavs are 31-10 at home, 20-21 away. Once you go down to Golden State just for 11-30 away from home. I'm going to take the Knicks over Cleveland. I think, like I said, I think this is going to be one of the better series, definitely. I think you could see this going either way, certainly. But I do believe that you're going to see the Knicks come out ahead in this series. The key matchup here is Jalen Brunson and whether he can – first of all, if he's going to slow down Donovan Mitchell, or even if he's going to be on Donovan Mitchell. You're going to see a man – I think whoever has a better series, Emmanuel Quigley, who could be 6th man of the year, or man, I am losing it on the power forward's name. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am losing the name here. Eric Mobley. Sorry. Or Eric Mobley. Whoever has a better series of those 2, and they're not going to be matched up against each other, but whoever has a better series of those 2 is going to win this series. But I think it'll be the Knicks in 7. I don't think they are going to get past the Bucks, and I don't think the Cavs are going to get past the Bucks. So this is kind of like an NCAA tournament where, okay. Philadelphia and Brooklyn. So Randy Zellier called me yesterday, one of our esteemed donors, and said, I think Brooklyn has a shot. There's a way to win this series. And the way to win this series is to allow Joel Embiid to get his 50 or so points and then shut everybody else down. Yes, that is a way to win. That is the only way to win this series, is doing it that way. Do I think that that's possible? No. I think Joel Embiid's going to get his 40 or 50 points anyway. And they're still not going to be able to shut down everybody else. Look, Brooklyn, the one thing that Brooklyn does not have is a one, right? A guy that can just take over the game. We saw that Mikal Bridges tried doing that in the last 20 or so games. Look, Mikal Bridges is a great number 2. They have a lot of number 2 and number 3s. Cam Johnson could be a number 2 because he doesn't play any defense. So is it possible for Brooklyn to pull the upset? Sure, it is. It absolutely is. But they would have to have a perfect series, and Joel Embiid would have to pretty much not show up. I don't see it. Not at all. Not at all do I see that happening here. And so I am going to take the 76ers without any doubt in 6 games. So and win on Brooklyn's home court. So 76ers in 6. The worst matchup of any of them, in my opinion, in the first round is this one, Boston and Atlanta. I'm going to take Boston in 5 because, again, I don't predict sweeps. Atlanta is a good team. They have some decent players, but the problem is they're running up against the one team that plays them the best, and that's Boston. Boston has the second overall offense, second overall defense, has a plus minus of 6.7 on the plus. That is the best in the league. This is a team in Atlanta that wants to shoot threes. You have Trae Young, you have DeJounte Murray, you play perimeter ball. Boston's best defense and Boston's best offense is their defense. They have Derek White, who may be an all-NBA defensive player. They have Marcus Smart, the ex-defensive player of the year. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They have perimeter defenders. The one thing Boston does not have is a down low post player, and that is what. The one thing that Atlanta does not have is a down low post player, and that is going to be troubling for them. This is a 5-game series. Boston takes it in 5 games because I don't predict sweeps, and sets up the second round matchup of Boston and Philly, which is the one that I've been looking forward to all year. Okay, moving on to the West. I have very little to no faith in Denver. I think they'll win the series. I think they're going to win it in 7. I don't really have a whole lot of faith in Minnesota either, especially coming off what we saw last night in that they were in the playing game. But the one thing that Denver has that generally nobody else has is size. And the one thing Minnesota does have is size. Denver's perimeter players not as good as one thought that they were going to be. Their depth is really not there at all since they traded Bones. I'm taking Denver, but I'm taking them in 7 games. So they win on their home court in 7 games, which should not be what a 1 seed is looking at here. Minnesota is a good team. You all know I have love for Minnesota. I always have. Big KG fan. Look, would they be better with Jaden McDaniels? Sure. It's going to hurt their defense, no question, because he would have been on Michael Porter or Aaron Gordon. But the fact is, there is no depth for this Denver team. They have traded away most of their depth. So I don't think they lose in this series, but I think it goes back to Denver, 7 games, which sets up Phoenix and LA. Oh, if Paul George was just healthy. If Paul George was healthy, this would be the dominant series, but he's not. And he may not be back till game 3, game 4. We're not sure. And because of that, I can't even come close to picking the Clippers. I can't. Look, we've said this before and we'll say it again. Kevin Durant makes everything better, right? He really does. He makes absolutely everything better. And with this team, Kevin Durant in total is shooting in the 8 games that he's played with Phoenix, and granted, it's only been 8 games, he shot 57%. He shot 56% with Brooklyn, so not that much of a difference. He's also shot 53% from 3 with Phoenix. Are you going to put Kawhi on Durant if you're Ty Lue? Okay, and then where are you getting your scoring from? Russell Westbrook? There's no Paul George. Phoenix wins. Phoenix wins in 6. I got a lot of 6-game wins for the higher seed, which means that they're playing on opposing courts. I got a lot of winning on opposing courts. I got the Bucks winning game 5 on an opposing court, the Knicks in 7 on an opposing court, 76ers on an opposing court. Boston, I think I have everybody except for Denver winning on the away court. Sacramento and Golden State. Wow, do I want to believe in Sacramento? They are the higher seed. Everybody's picking Golden State. Golden State can't win on the road. I want to pick Sacramento. I really want to pick Sacramento. If you had Seth here, he'd say the same thing. We want to pick Sacramento, but we can't. You can't. You can't, not in the first round. Look, if this goes 7 games and Golden State's got to win on Sacramento's home court in the 7th game, well, that's a different story. But I'm not picking against Golden State here. I'm just not. So I'm picking Golden State in 6. Wiggins is back. I think while Sacramento plays at a very, very fast pace. They really do. Their bigs don't. And Sabonis is going to have to come up to play Draymond Green, come up to play Kevin Looney, and I just think they get exposed. Golden State in 6. Memphis and the Lakers. Man, I wish Steven Adams was playing. I wish Brandon Clark was playing because that would totally turn this, and it would give me the Lakers. It would give me Memphis walking away. But how do you turn away from LeBron? How do you turn away from AD? How do you say that you don't give those guys a puncher's chance of winning this series? Of course you do. Of course you do. And if you are Memphis, you are running and running and running throughout the entire series. The Lakers are an older team. You can't just say, okay, we're going to play the Lakers style basketball. It doesn't work. This is an older team. Their pace has been down. They are giving up. Their differential is 0.6. They were 8-2 in their last 10. Yeah, they have been playing great. But this is an older team, and I see Darvin Ham playing those guys, playing AD and LeBron for 38, 40 minutes apiece. And if you're playing that, you got to run. And if you're Memphis, you're going to run. So I'm going to pick Memphis in 7 games, winning on their home court. But I think the Lakers have to win one in Memphis to start. If this goes down 2-0, I think it's over in 5. Okay. Moving on to the second round. So we're moving back up. So we have Milwaukee here, and we have the Knicks here. Milwaukee's going to win. Milwaukee is a more athletic team. They are going to run the crap out of the Knicks. And if Chris Middleton is back, this is a no-brainer. Milwaukee just is a better team. The Knicks are what the Knicks are. And look, if you are a New York Knicks fan, you are proud of this team. This is a team you are proud of. It's a team that works together. Brunson brought them together. Quigley has played well. Mitchell Robinson is a defensive stalwart. Julius Randle back to his all-NBA, probably third team this year, maybe gets dropped off, but close. You're happy as a Knicks fan, but you're no match for Milwaukee. Not this year. Nope. Now, Lopez is just playing out of his mind. So we'll play Milwaukee here. Now, this 2-3 matchup, and for those that are fans of the program, I finally got one right this year, and Joel Embiid is probably going to be the MVP. I predicted that earlier. I predicted that in our opening show on the NBA. And this is the series that Joel Embiid proves why he is the MVP. So this year, he has put up, listen to me here, 36.8 points, 11.8 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and has shot 61% against Boston in 4 games. Again, 36.8 points on 61.2% shooting. The Celtics took 3 out of 4. against the 76ers. But that last game where Embiid just went off, this is going to be the Embiid show. I think you're going to see the 76ers take this in 6 games. I get that Boston has a home court advantage. I get that they were 32-9 at TD Garden this year. I get all that. This is where you see Embiid's coming out party. If he hasn't already, this is where he's on the national stage. This is where James Harden shows up in the playoffs. This is the series. So I'm taking Philadelphia in 6 games. So I got the Bucks in 5 against the Knicks, the 76ers in 6. I hate picking the Bucks in 5, but 76ers in 6 games. Move on to Denver at Phoenix. I'm taking Phoenix. Again, I don't believe in Denver. I think Ayton can match up against Jokic. Can he stop him? No. But again, I don't believe in Denver. I don't believe in the depth that Denver has. And Phoenix has Kevin Durant. Kevin freaking Durant. So, no, we're going to take off that screen. Stop sharing the screen. So, I'm going to take Phoenix over LA. Sorry, I had Phoenix over LA, and now I have Phoenix over Denver. I'm going to take Phoenix in 6 games as well, winning on their home court, actually, this time. And Golden State at Memphis, this is a redo of last year. And how do I pick against Golden State again? Again, I want Memphis to win this series. And look, if somebody gets hurt on Golden State, then I see this as Memphis. But I'm going to pick Golden State in 6 games, winning at home. And I don't like it. I don't like going this way because I know everybody's going this way. But I don't see how, when your top 5 are playing together on Golden State, if you're looking at Clay, Stephen Curry, Wiggins, Looney, and Draymond Green, and they're all healthy, how you win this series. I mean, Ja is great, and Ja's the most exciting player in the NBA to me. But they don't win this series. So I'm taking Golden State in 6. Again, winning at home. And now we have the Final 4. Bucks against 76ers. Phoenix against Golden State. And I picked the 76ers to go to the finals, and I'm going to keep it rolling. So 76ers over the Bucks. Again, I think this is same thing. And I understand Brook Lopez can slow down. Defensive Player of the Year candidate can slow down Joel Embiid. I get that. I think this is the year that Harden comes through. I think this is the year the supplemental cast for the 76ers come through. And I think you see the 76ers in the finals over the Bucks. And that is going to be in 6 games. If this goes 7 games, I think the Bucks win on their home court. Golden State at Phoenix. Thankfully, Golden State loses. It's Kevin freaking Durant. And Kevin Durant's having the season of his life, and he got traded. So Phoenix has the upper hand, but this series does go 7, and I'm going to take Phoenix in 7 games. And now you have Phoenix against the 76ers. And I picked the 76ers to win over Memphis at the beginning of the season. I don't see anybody beating Phoenix. Not if they're healthy. Chris Paul gets his championship. DeAndre Ayton solidifies himself on a big screen, on the big stage. Devin Booker becomes a household name, even though he should be already. And Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. And he solidified. Look, Kevin Durant's an all-time great. People in the NBA know it. If you're a fan, you know it. But over the last couple of years, Kevin Durant's reputation has taken a hit between first going to Golden State, then not being the guy, right? But winning championships, but not being the guy. Then going to Brooklyn and then forcing himself, first of all, with the trade request this past summer, and then forcing himself out this year, and now going to Phoenix. He is the guy in Phoenix. and he's going to prove himself to be the guy on this big stage, and he will take the championship. They will be – are they the home court in that situation? No, they're the underdog. I will take Phoenix in 6 games to win. And look, all these predictions are predicated on health. If Kevin Durant gets hurt, this goes up the creek. If Chris Paul gets hurt, this goes up the creek. If Devin Booker gets hurt, this goes up the creek. If Joel Embiid gets hurt in the first round and I have them going to the finals, this is like the NCAA tournament, right? One injury could ruin the entire tournament for you. But the way I see it right now, Phoenix wins in 6, the finals over the 76ers. The best series is 76ers Boston and Phoenix Golden State. Those are the 2 best series. I am looking forward to the NBA playoffs. I am really looking forward to it. It was a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day out in Atlanta. I took a walk earlier. I'm going to go sit by the pool, watch some of these games. Seth will join us next week. Tomorrow, I will do the same thing that I did today for the NHL, either tomorrow or Monday, probably tomorrow. So tune in for my NHL predictions. For Seth Kamens, who's still doing some tax work, I'm Sean Palmer, Seth and Sean Sports here on StreamYard and Back Sports page. And I hope you have a great day. Watch some games and see you tomorrow.